A step, step. Quite. I come here to open the truths to my people. This evangelist Nana Efiabriba Kofi, quite in some poem. I resonate on a higher frequency with the energy of the deities and the Aku and the Akutus, the Ankh and the Ankhcestors and the Ankhcestors, which are ancestors. This symbol is the cosmic yoni. Every individual is coming from the cosmic yoni. This symbol is the virtuous symbol in nature. This symbol represents the womb. This symbol is the secret symbol of the Freemasons that they don't want everyone to know. This symbol is the symbol of the tomb. This symbol is the symbol of the vagina. This symbol is the symbol of the universal cosmos. Every life is coming from this symbol. Before every individual comes or every life comes into being, it comes from a whole. When you die, in ancient Egyptians, when they mummify you, this symbol represents a mummified deity or mummified ancestor. So, it has been a long time. I come here to open the truth to my people. Please forgive me for not dressing well. Okay, let me dress well so that we enlighten our people. Yes, I brought these leaves because it has been a long time. I have to sanctify myself. Okay. Yes. So today I come here to open the truth to my people. It has not been an easy road, but now we are moving on. Yes. When I was young, a lot of lies was told to me. And that was the shit and damn my heart and my mind was sold into. But when I grew up, I found out the truth. The truth set me free. That is why I'm here to set my people free. If you are a Christian, I don't hate you. If you're a Muslim, I don't hate you. If you're an atheist, I don't hate you. If you're a Buddhist, or any culture or any religion that you choose to take, I come here with my own data, my own phone, to open the truth to my people. I use my own data. If you want to support me, try to support me because it has not been an easy journey. If you want to support me in any form, try to support me. Yes. So today it has been a long journey I've been on into. We are going to learn about a great topic as I've given to you, the etymology of ancestor or ancestors. A lot of people who are Christians, when you tell them you worship your ancestors or you give honor to your ancestors, they believe it in a different way or a different direction. So today I'm here to open the truth to my people. In the first place, when you go into the ancient Egyptian cosmology, when we talk about the ancient Egyptian cosmology, we are talking about what? When life started, the people that were living on this earth, we call them what? Ancient Nubians, the Akhans. These people recognize what? The universe as what? A deity, as a primordial what? Feminine and masculine deity. When you talk about what? Feminine and masculine deity, it is talking about what? Man and a woman. So, this universe came into being in the black substance. That is when we talk about black substance, we are talking about what? Darkness. This universe that you see light behind me came from what? A black substance. When we talk about black spectrum, it contains all the life spectrum. And it is as a result that we got our life on this nature or on this plane earth, which is planet. So when you go into the book of the dead is talking about the book of life. Today, I'm telling you that the book of death or the dead is the same as us, the same as the book of life. when you go and read about that book or any ancient Egyptian book, they will always talk about what? Usa and Uset and Hiru. When we talk about Usa and Uset and Hiru, it is what? A symbolism or a symbol that we classify, or our ancestors put it there for us, so that at a point in time, as we regrow or regenerate as what a generations, we will continue to capture that idea. So Usa and Uset, as they gave to us that Uset was what? The primordial what? Feminine deity, and Usa was what? The primordial what? Masculine deity. And Usa was what? The father, and Uset was the mother. When Usa died, that is when Set killed his brother, that is Usa. That is when lights fall at what? 6 p.m. when it was what? Darkness. And darkness, it was what? 6 o'clock p.m. That is when light falls and what? Darkness take over. When darkness take over, you see the moon within the darkness. The moon within the darkness represents the feminine energy, and it represents what? Uset. So as darkness took over, darkness represents Set, meaning Set killed his brother, that is Usa, light. Then the darkness, within which the darkness is the feminine, the primordial what? Virtuous womb. Now Uset did incantations and was what? A new birth called what? Hiru. This story is just talking about what? Our life. Okay? It is a story that they stated so that we can recognize our life. It is talking about what? The firmament. When you talk about the firmament, it's talking about what? The black stars, or the what? The firmament, the dome, the black substance that you see in darkness. When it is darkness at night, the black substance that you see in heavens, okay, is what? The primordial what? Who said the primordial feminine deity? Okay? And when we talk about what? It's what? Usa. Let me put it that way. Usa represents what? Light. When we talk about light, the first light is talking about what? Usa. When nature came into being, it was primordial darkness. So when light came into being, the light was what signifies as what? The masculine energy. When light falls, it passed underground, Mother Earth. Okay? And Mother Earth give birth to the new sun. And the new sun was called what? Hiru. This is an astrological, or this is what? A perfect symbolism to classify how nature came into being. So it was what? First darkness, light came, and the light falls into Mother Earth. Darkness took over again. When darkness took over, our ancestors told us that, or our people told us that, the darkness was what? A feminine deity. That is the skies. As the moon and the stars, they put energy within Mother Earth. So Mother Earth, when the sun falls, it went into Mother Earth. That is why they tell you Osiris went into what? Underground. And Osiris was the first what? Ancestor. I want you to define, or I want to define the meaning of ancestor to you. That is why I'm coming from these stories. So the next day, the new sun arises, and they told us that Uset did incantations with Nephthys, okay, and they gave birth to what? A newborn son, who is Hiru, who came to defeat what? The darkness, or Set. That is why every day when there is darkness, we always see light in the next day. So Uset and Usa represent what? Darkness and light and what? Mother Earth. Because the sun falls, it passes through Mother Earth, the underground, before it is reborn. So when you look from the east every morning, you see that the sun comes from what? The lowest aspect of what? The firmament. That is from the ground, or from the Mother Earth. Meaning what? Uset did incantations, and there has been what? A newborn sun, or a new sun, S-U-N, to come and bless this universe. And Hiru continues to defeat Set, because Hiru was able to defeat Set. Do you understand? So when we talk about ancestors, Ankh, when we talk about Ankh, this Ankh, okay, this Ankh, and Ankh, Ankh, A represents A, the first alphabet, and A is number 1. So Ankh, our ancient Egyptians represent this symbol as Ankh, the symbol of life, okay, the symbol of life. So our Ankh, our life, depends on what? The people that live a good life or a good legacy ahead of us. And Ankh, the ancestor, is coming from the first root word, the etymology of ancestor. The first root word is what? Ankh. Ankh, which is this, represents the symbol of life. Ankhcestors, the ses means Ankh assess, to assess. If you want to know life, you have to assess life. That is why we say Ankh assess or Ankh assist. Someone to assist you to assess. Test means a what? Double or plural. So Ankh assistance or Ankhcestors So when we talk about Ankhcestors or ancestors, we are talking about what? The Ankh, the symbol of life. How you can negotiate, or how you can symbolize, or how you can live your life. And as you, oh, let me calm down. When we talk about Ankhcestors, the knowledge is deep, okay? I'm high, like the knowledge is coming deep, 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 it's coming more. The knowledge is deeper here, okay? So I have to calm down for my people. So when we talk about the Ankh is life. And if you want to know life, you have to assess life. If you want to know life, if you are assessing life, you have to need what? Or you have to seek what? Assistance. So Ankh assess assistance, or Ankh assess sisters. Our ancient Egyptians, our Ankh assistants or Ankh ancestors. That is why every individual, before you come into enlightenment, they put Egypt or Nubia or Kemet as what? The first what symbol for you to recognize what where you are coming from. That is the first root of our life. Nubia, that is Kemet before Kemet, before Egypt. Okay, so the moment someone say Ankhcestors or Ankh assistants, you reckon where you are coming from. So every individual is able to attune him or herself to know the truth from what? Ancient Egyptian cosmologies. So when we talk about Ankhcestors, we are talking about what? Those life or those people that leave a good legacy ahead of us. Okay, we call for their assistance, we call for their help, we call them because they are our sisters, we call them because they are those that we can access energy from them. Do you understand? So when you come into account cosmology, when someone dies, before we do funeral, we do what? 1 week celebration. When we do the 1 week celebration, we put the date for the day that we bury the what? The dead. In ancient Egyptian cosmology, it was what? Mummification. At that time, they mummify the body, they put it at one point in a room, a dark room. When someone dies, they put that person in the dark room. They mummify the person with what? Leaves, great herbs. Okay, the body is able to sustain for 40 days. After 40 days, when they celebrate the 40 days, they are now able to celebrate what? The funeral ceremony. Or at times, even they bury the individual before they even celebrate what? The 40 days. Do you understand? When they bury any individual in account cosmology, there is a ritual that we do. We pour libation at the cemetery, then we put what? The individual who is now mummified, or the dead individual, into what? Into the tomb. When we do this ritual, this person is now traversing or what? Traveling to what? A family. Every individual that you are on this earth, you have a family. Every individual, as a man or a woman, you have a family on this earth. So, this family that you are having on this earth, you are not the first family, or you are not the first family member existing on this earth. Those people that they came to set that family for you, as your father and your mother, as your grandfather and your grandmother, as your great grandfather and your grandfather, they passed away. As they pass away, they are not lost. They go into the Asamando in Akan. When we say Asamando, it represents what? The ancestral realm or the cemetery. We go to the Asamando, we rest there before through reincarnations we are able to come through. So we individuals, we are energy. We don't lost. Energy can never be destroyed nor created, but energy can be what? Transformed from one point to another. So we the Akans, we the melanated people, are the black people, we don't die. We shift shapes. So when an individual dies and we send that individual to the cemetery or the what? The Asamando, that individual is not lost. That individual now goeth what? To the ancestral realm to join those ancestors or those living what? Legends who were living or who lived a good legacy ahead of us. That person goes to join that what? That clan or that family over there. So there is no heaven or no hell. You not die and one day you go to hell nor heaven. Okay. So in Akan, when we say Osamine, when we say ancestor, ancestor represents Osamine. Osamine represents someone who was once living and he has passed away what? The town. Was sign or mine and hoko. And maybe not say or mine nimu. And I was sign or mine no echo. Into your friend was saying Osamine into a sign or mine no hoko. And I was sign or mine no hoko so on ye. Nemum oko asamando oko nananom and saman fie. A ho and a brunin friend of heaven. The ancestral realm is where the white call it what? Heaven. Or the Asamandu or the cemetery is where the whites and their offsprings, they call it what? Heaven. So when an individual dies, you don't go to hell nor what? Heaven. But individual dies and goes to what? The Asamandu. So when we talk about ancestors, when you talk about ancestors to some people, they said now you worship your ancestor and your ancestors never live a good life. No. Our ancestors fought for our good life. Our ancestors fought for what? Our good health. So now, if you are there and you believe that you are a black or a melanin being, I'm telling you that we don't die. We shift shifts or we shift shifts. Energy can never be destroyed nor created. But ancestors is coming from what? Ankhcestors, Ankhcestors or Ankhcestors. They are those who lived a good legacy and they are living in what? The Asamando, the ancestral realm. And they listen to what? Our prayers. They are our intermediately what? Energies. That sends our what? Our energies to what? The primordial universe. Okay? So when you come into Akan, we say Nananum Nsamanfo. Nana represents a noble person. Nana represents a king. Nana represents what? A queen mother. Or Nana represents a grandchild of a queen mother. Or a grandchild of a great grandmother. So Nana, nature is our Nana. That is why we personify the great supreme being as Nana Nyamiwa Nyame. Or Nana Nyame Nyamiwa. But Nana Nyamiwa, Nana Nyame. So what? The energy which is coming from Nana. Nana represents what? The great cosmic what? Energy. Okay? The great cosmic energy. So we, our ancestors, the ancestor, the first ancestor is the first primordial universe. Anything that you came to meet before you is an ancestor. The river body is an ancestor because it came before you. It is Nana. Okay? Enna, or na. Nana represents what? A great person. Okay? Enna represents what? Your cemetery grave, and Enna also represents what? Your mother. So nature is our mother. That is why we personify nature as Mother Nature. Okay? That is why we personify Mother Earth as a woman. So we are all coming from the Na or Enna or Nana. That represents the primordial universe. So the great ancestor is the primordial universe. The great supreme being is what? Our Nana is our ancestor. Because we the Africans are coming from the great deities that created this primordial universe. And the great deities are our Nana. Nananum Abosum, Nananum Nsamanfo, okay? Nana Nyamiwa, Nana Nyame, Nana Nyankropong, Nana Nyankuntong. Nana represents a great energy of the great primordial universe. Okay? So when someone tells you that your ancestors were not what? Good people, your ancestors were bad, they couldn't do anything for you. Let me tell you, it's your ancestors that created this universe. Because your ancestors are the primordial deities. So the etymology of ancestor is coming from what? Ankh or life assistants or life ancestors or life sisters. And the life sisters or life assistants, anything that supports our life, Mother Earth supports our life. We put seed in Mother Earth. Okay? It rains from the sky goddess, Mother Nu, to Mother Earth. We breathe air. We see the, let me put the four energies together. We have wind, air, fire, and water. These are the what? The four elements of nature. And the four elements of nature are our great primordial Nana, great ancestors. Those people that they came to live before us. Okay? It was what? 100 years from Africa. They took some of our ancestors as prisoners of war. Okay? And the first ship that they put our ancestors in was called what? Jesus. That was the first enslavement. They changed our life. They lowered our life. Okay? They brutalized our ancestors. Okay? They changed them to the lowest aspect of what? Human nature. When the first ship arrived at the coast, at Cape Coast, the coast in Ghana, when you come to Ghana, the first ship arrived at Cape Coast. Cape Coast. You can watch the movie called Deadly Voyage. If you are in everywhere or everywhere that you are, type into your search engine or YouTube and look for the movie called The Deadly Voyage. The Deadly Voyage. It's a Ghanaian movie. That is when the first ship came into what? Ghana. It arrived at the coast at Egypt. That is where our ancestors were taken as prisoners of war. They took them on the slave ship called Jesus. The very bad aspect of it is that during the journey, before they get to the Americas, when they see that some of our ancestors are sick or they are weak, they now threw them to the Middle Ocean. So some of our ancestors are dead. Some of our ancestors are in the waters. Okay? Before even they took some of them to the Americas to work into the plantations. Okay? And they changed our life to the lowest aspect of what? Humanity. But indirectly, so far as we are the father of nature, we are the father of the universe. So when you assess your ancestors, you have assessed the great universe. You have assessed the great primordial energies of this universe. And the simple way to assess your ancestors is to pour libation. Get a drink, a wine, a great wine, a powerful wine. Pour libation. Talk to the wine. Put it on the ground. That is where you speak to your ancestors, your nature, your supreme cosmic nature. I love every individual who comes here to learn the truth. Please, if you are here, always I've been telling you, I'm doing everything on my own. It's not force. If you wish to support me, just inbox me. The foundations are down. I'm about to concrete, now start the building. It's not an easy road, but still I move on. Touches your heart to support. Just inbox me and support. I love everyone over here. Don't think that one day you are dying and going to hell, or one day you are dying and going to heaven. There's never heaven nor hell as they've classified in your mind, your mentis. It's a slavery tool. Be awake and know the truth. Hete.